Hello, my name is Catherine Cho, and I am a journalist from CNN. I have uploaded few videos about North Korea and their lives, and today I will talk about the educational programs for North Korean refugees in South Korea. In detail, you will see how globalization has affected educational situation for the North Koreans and explore the actions from UNHRC, which is UN Human Rights Council, to help them. Also, we can learn three things from this gender split graph. First thing we can learn is that the number of defectors have been increased until 2008. And the second thing we can learn is that there are more women than men who have defected from North Korea. And the last thing we can learn is that the number of defectors have been decreased a lot after Kim Jong-un started to rule North Korea. Right now, North Korea is ruled by Kim Jong-un, and he's known as a brutal dictator. The gap between the rich and the poor is enormous. Majority of the poor are suffering from malnutrition, and it is almost impossible to be cured. Also, it is hard for them to be educated. This shows that they are not even protected with basic human rights. Therefore, the poor are constantly trying to escape from the country to secure freedom and improve the quality of life. Usually, people who already went out from North Korea and settled in South Korea hardly contact to their relatives or families to tell about the better life at South Korea and then persuade them to come to South Korea. This became possible because of the globalization since they started to contact each other and it is spreading. These people interact each other, and because of this, the number of refugees is kept increasing. It can be an interdependent relationship because South Koreans started to get information about North Korea from North Koreans, and there are even TV programs that North Koreans explain the environment and life in North Korea. However, it is almost impossible to escape from North Korea. There are soldiers monitoring the edge of the country for 24 hours, and people are murdered if caught by them. So they hardly defect from North Korea. According to the article Resettling in South Korea, Challenges for Young North Korean Refugees, as soon as North Korean refugees get proved that they are from North Korea by the government, they can receive citizenship of South Korea from the government and no longer be refugees. It is too obvious that the refugees have to live a better life in reward of hard escape, but the truth is that they are suffering even more because of the huge difference in South Korea. According to the same article, North Korean refugees are known to be the one who are most likely to easily adapt to South Korean society, but it is incorrect. Especially children and young adults from North Korea are having a hard time adapting to the South Korean community. There were 26,483 North Korean refugees living in South Korea on March 2014, and 40% of them were between 10 to 29 years old who really needs to be educated. And this is from Ministry of Reunification on 2014. And according to recent studies, young North Koreans are suffering from gaps in physical health and socioeconomic status, psychological health issues such as post-traumatic stress disorder, which is also known as PTSD, and bias towards the North Korean refugees that are widely prevalent in schools and workplaces. Also, it is hard for them to communicate with each other because of different kinds of Korean. Due to globalization, South Koreans are well exposed to the globalized world and use a lot amount of foreign words. However, North Koreans use 100% pure Korean. These differences make North Korean refugees hard to communicate with others and lose confidence in front of others. From this graph, we can see the dropout rates of North Korean refugee students. There are many people dropping out from their schools. Young North Koreans suffer from low esteem because they are usually placed in lower grades who are younger. This is from Jung in 2002 and Kim and Lee from 2013. The educational structure in North Korea was destroyed, so even though they're educated in Hana-won for a certain period, it is hard for them to be educated in normal schools. This is why young North Koreans drop out from school and have a hard time socializing with South Koreans. And this is from Jung at 2002. And according to a North Korean college student, Kim Sung-chul, in an interview with the New York Times, he said that I felt like someone from the 1970s who was put on a time machine and dropped in the 21st century. And surprisingly, more than half of the North Koreans have dropped out from their school in South Korea. And there is a quote, somebody even have said that. In North Korea, we starve. In third countries, we don't know the language. When we come to South Korea, we don't know how to live. These quote and situations seriously highlights the importance of the education for North Koreans in South Korea. According to the article Resettling in South Korea, Challenges for Young North Korean Refugees, on the chart above, these programs look fancy and perfect, and actually they are on the right track. However, there are some problems. These resettling programs are not well promoted to most of the North Korean refugees, and the duration of these plethora of programs are limited to 5 years maximum. And especially in educational way, the Ministry of Education of South Korea provides academic assistance programs like extracurricular activities and mentoring programs to help students adjust to normal school. And this is by Kim at 2009. And they are sent to Hana-won where they learn about South Korea. However, Hana-won hardly deals with the realistic problems such as unemployment, cultural difference, and discrimination. Furthermore, North Koreans felt even harder to adapt in Korean society because the environments are unexpected. Frankly speaking, there are more actions the South Korean government has taken about this problem than UN, or more specifically UNHRC. UNHRC and UN only focused on the health and shelters for the North Korean refugees, since escaping from the North Korea and settling is a very important and dangerous thing for the refugees. I strongly believe that UN and UNHRC has to focus more on this problem. They should help South Korea to build more educational facilities, develop the educational services for North Koreans, and make some better ways to effectively promote the system to North Koreans. To put it concretely, for developing educational services, UN should force South Korea to make the duration of the service longer. Also, it is possible to change or develop the Hana-won system in more globalized ways, like learning other languages such as Spanish, English, or Chinese. The last thing is OP Real Time, and the first source, the title of it is Resettling in South Korea, Challenges for Young North Korean Refugees. For the origin of this source, this is a news article, and the expert named Go Myung-hyun made it on August 8th, 2014. And this article is on the Asian Institute for Policy Studies, and anyone can read this article. And the purpose of this article was to show people the general background about the North Korean refugee problem and tell how much North Korean refugees are suffering in South Korea, especially children and young adults. And this source was the one that was most helpful for this project. So the value of it is that it helped me to understand the basic information of how it's like to live in South Korea for the North Koreans. And also there were a few graphs that helped me to clearly understand about the topic. However, the limitation of this source was that there were less amount of the information that explains about the improvement that needs to be done in the future for the North Koreans. For the second source, the title of it is Hana-won Director Offers Glimpse into Highs and Lows of Resettlement Process of North Korean Defectors. For the origin, it is interview-typed article, and Unification Media Group have made this article in July 9th, 2015. And this is on Daily North Korea News, and anyone can see this article. The purpose of this article was to inform the life of North Korean refugees in South Korea and show what it's like in Hanawan, which is an educational facilities. And the value of this is that there are some graphs that helps understanding, and the description or explanation about the topic was very vivid, and it was also very detailed because the article was in interviewing format. However, the limitation is that this was written a bit long ago, so maybe some facts from the article might have changed. Thank you for watching this video.